In 2009, the world witnessed one of the most significant thefts in military history. Foreign hackers stole critical information about the advanced F-35 Joint Strike Fighter aircraft, impacting its development and deployment. This breach served as a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities that exist within the defense supply chain. The root cause of the breach was weak cybersecurity measures among contractors working with the U.S. Department of Defense. With tens of thousands of contractors in the defense industrial base, the risk of cyber attacks is enormous. These incidents can result in significant financial losses, operational disruptions, and weakened national security. Cybersecurity breaches and attacks have grown in both frequency and sophistication, leading to the compromise of sensitive information, disruption of operations, and an astounding amount of economic losses. The National Institute of Standards and Technology estimates the U.S. economy loses hundreds of billions of dollars annually due to intellectual property theft and cyber espionage. Globally, the losses amount to over $10 trillion a year and growing. Everyone is being targeted, from the large primes to small manufacturers and service providers. In fact, as you're watching this video, there's a pretty good chance that your business is under some kind of cyber attack. To protect national security and the competitiveness of American industries, securing the defense industrial base, which includes contractors like you, has become an urgent priority. Implementing robust cybersecurity measures is essential to prevent future breaches and maintain the integrity of the defense supply chain. Remember that if you experience a random ransomware attack, it could certainly affect the supply chain and national security in some way, in addition to potentially undermining your organization or even resulting in its failure altogether. Implementing robust cybersecurity is not only a matter of national security, it's also a matter of business competitiveness and survival.
The Cybersecurity Maturity Model certification is a comprehensive certification and assessment program that addresses the increasing cyber threats faced by contractors and subcontractors and aims to validate the implementation of cybersecurity regulations across the entire defense supply chain. CMMC was established by the United States Department of Defense to assess defense contractors' ability to protect sensitive information in accordance with existing federal and DoD standards, most notably the National Institute of Standards and Technology Special Publication 800-171. In other words, the security regulations enforced by CMMC have existed for several years now, but CMMC is a set of assessment mechanisms designed to enforce these existing rules in order to achieve a more secure defense industrial base. It's also worth noting that, besides the DoD, more and more federal departments are in the process of adopting CMMC for their own contractors. So, it is conceivable that in the near future, CMMC rules will apply to most, if not all, federal contractors, not just DoD contractors.
In this video, we'll help you navigate CMMC by guiding you through the essentials of this critical aspect of defense contracting and what it means for your organization. The current version of CMMC, version 2, has 3 levels. These levels represent an organization's cybersecurity maturity, with higher levels requiring more stringent security controls. Your organization must achieve the appropriate certification level to get and maintain a contract with the DoD. Understanding the specific requirements of each level would enable you to develop a strategic plan for achieving and maintaining compliance with CMMC. Level 1, Basic Cyber Hygiene. This level is focused on basic cybersecurity measures to protect federal contract information, or FCI, ensuring that organizations have a foundational level of security in place. FCI refers to information that is provided by or generated for the government under a federal contract and is not intended for public release. This includes contract pricing information and basic technical data that, while not for public release, is also not highly sensitive or controlled.
Level 2, intermediate cyber hygiene. Organizations that process, store, or handle controlled unclassified information, or CUI, must achieve and maintain the more mature cybersecurity posture defined by an additional set of controls. This level requires a more comprehensive understanding of cybersecurity best practices and a commitment to continuous improvement. CUI is sensitive data that requires safeguarding but is not classified. Examples include sensitive technical drawings, research data, and any data marked as CUI by the government. CUI may be subject to export controls, intellectual property protections, or other regulations. CMMC focuses on validating the protection of CUI across the defense supply chain, thereby helping to prevent unauthorized access, data breaches, and espionage. To effectively safeguard CUI, it is essential for organizations to understand the different categories of CUI, the applicable regulations, and the specific security controls required for each category. Developing a comprehensive understanding of the various types of CUI handled by your organization will enable you to better manage and secure the sensitive information.
Level 3, advanced cyber hygiene. The most stringent of the three, this level requires organizations to demonstrate advanced cybersecurity practices, including proactive threat detection and incident response capabilities. Organizations at this level are expected to have a sophisticated and well-integrated cybersecurity program in place. Organizations must meet the requirements of each level to achieve certification. The higher the level, the more numerous and stringent the controls. By streamlining the certification process, CMMC enables more organizations to participate in the defense supply chain while maintaining robust security standards. To comply with CMMC, your organization must satisfy the necessary security controls and undergo an assessment to achieve the required certification level. This process involves evaluating your organization's cybersecurity posture, identifying areas for improvement, and working to achieve compliance. Keep in mind, these controls aren't just about implementing technology. Plugging in a firewall without effectively managing it doesn't add anything to your security. Your organizational policies, the processes through which they're enforced, how the people executing those processes are managed and trained, and where and how information is accessed are all defined as security controls.
Implementing these controls may necessitate changes to your organization's internal processes, technology, and culture. It is important to anticipate these changes and develop a strategic plan for managing the transition to CMMC compliance. By proactively addressing these challenges, your organization can minimize disruption, optimize resources, and strengthen its cybersecurity posture. Most contracts are handled by multiple levels of contractors. Prime and higher level contractors must ensure that their subcontractors are also CMMC compliant depending on the sensitivity of the information they handle. This ensures that the entire supply chain is protected from cyber threats. By holding all parties accountable for their cybersecurity posture, CMMC promotes a collective defense strategy, making the entire defense supply chain more resilient to cyber attacks. Collaborating with subcontractors to achieve compliance will not only strengthen your supply chain, but also enhance trust among stakeholders. It's also crucial to understand the scope of your compliance efforts and to identify areas that require improvement. The CMMC published scoping guidance focuses on the scope of systems that store, process, or transmit CUI and FCI. Under this guidance, a contractor must define and document the physical and logical boundaries of the information systems that store, process, or transmit sensitive information. These boundaries are defined based on the system's technical and logical access controls, as well as the boundaries defined by the contractor's network security architecture. Once the boundaries are defined, all security controls required by CMMC at the right level are applied to the systems within the defined boundary. Systems that are not within the defined boundary are not subject to CMMC requirements. Scoping is intended to provide more flexibility and granularity when designing your system's architecture to comply with CMMC requirements. Depending on how limited or extensive your contracts are, you may choose to only scope some limited size enclaves within your network for CMMC compliance. Conversely, some contractors may extend their CMMC scope to their entire network to simplify cybersecurity compliance across the organization.
The CMMC ecosystem consists of a diverse range of stakeholders, including the Department of Defense or other federal agencies, the Cyber Accreditation Body, or CyberAB, which governs CMMC and accredits the other organizations in the ecosystem, and many support organizations. This collaborative ecosystem is designed to promote transparency, trust, scalability, and security across the defense supply chain. As a DoD contractor executive, it is essential to engage with this ecosystem and leverage the available resources, expertise, and partnerships to better navigate the complexities of CMMC compliance. Let's talk about 3 specific types of organizations you're likely going to deal with directly. Certified CMMC third-party assessment organizations, or C3PAOs, perform independent assessments of your organization's compliance with CMMC requirements. These assessments are conducted by trained and certified CMMC assessors who evaluate your organization's security controls, processes, and practices. C3PAOs play a crucial role in ensuring the integrity and consistency of the CMMC assessment process. We'll get back to C3PAOs in a minute. Licensed training providers, or LTPs, offer training and educational resources to help organizations prepare for CMMC assessments. LTPs are authorized by the CyberAB to deliver training on CMMC requirements, best practices, and implementation strategies. By partnering with LTPs, your organization can build the knowledge and skills needed to achieve and maintain CMMC compliance. By the way, Phoenix TS is an LTP, so we provide expert certified CMMC training to C3PAOs, security providers, and contractors like you.
Registered Provider Organizations, or RPOs, are organizations recognized by the CyberAB as having the knowledge and capability to advise organizations on their journey to achieve a specific CMMC level. RPOs assist organizations in understanding the CMMC model, the requirements for each level, and how to prepare for a CMMC assessment. They, however, do not conduct assessments themselves. For example, my company Centel is an RPO. As such, we advise organizations on how to build the right cybersecurity infrastructure and prepare for a CMMC assessment. Achieving CMMC compliance is a critical requirement for organizations working with the Department of Defense. Non-compliance can result in severe consequences, including loss of contracts, financial penalties, inability to maintain cyber insurance, and damage to your organization's reputation. Beyond these immediate consequences, compliance with CMMC demonstrates your organization's commitment to securing the defense supply chain and protecting national security interests. In order to maintain your contracts with the Department of Defense, you must communicate your compliance with CMMC rules to the government. If you do not manage any CUI in your scope, then you only need to achieve CMMC Level 1 certification. This is done through self-attestation. This means you are essentially telling the government that you are compliant with Level 1 requirements. But be careful, self-attestation is done at the executive level. Making a false claim to the government under CMMC Level 1 self-attestation rules can have serious consequences for the company and the individuals involved. Companies that make a false statement or misrepresent information related to their cybersecurity compliance can be subject to a variety of legal and financial penalties. These penalties may include termination of the contract. The government may terminate the contract in whole or in part if it determines that the contractor made a false statement or misrepresentation related to cybersecurity compliance. Suspension or debarment. The government may suspend or debar the contractor from receiving future contracts if it determines that the contractor made a false statement or misrepresentation related to cybersecurity compliance. False Claims Act liability. The contractor may be liable under the False Claims Act, which imposes penalties for submitting false claims to the government. Criminal liability. In cases where the false statement or misrepresentation is intentional and fraudulent, individuals involved may face criminal charges and fines and may even be subject to imprisonment. Therefore, it is important for companies to take cybersecurity compliance seriously and ensure they are implementing the required cybersecurity practices and processes and providing accurate and truthful self-attestation to the government.
Most companies with enclaves at level 2 and above will need to become CMMC certified through an independent third-party assessment by C3PAO and renew that certification every 3 years. If a contract requires CMMC certification, your enclave must be certified at the correct level before the start of the contract. Otherwise, you risk losing that contract. Assessments are conducted to ensure that organizations have implemented the required security controls effectively and consistently. The C3PAOs will evaluate your organization's cybersecurity maturity, policies, and procedures, providing an objective assessment of your compliance with CMMC requirements. While CMMC implementation may be a financial challenge, the benefits of securing your organization and protecting national security and your business far outweigh the costs. Investing in robust cybersecurity measures helps prevent costly breaches, maintain customer trust, and protect valuable intellectual property. The streamlined nature of CMMC aims to reduce the financial burden on contractors while maintaining high security standards. Keep in mind that certain CMMC implementation costs may be considered allowable under government contracts. This means you can recover some of the expenses through your contract, easing some of your financial burden. Be sure to consult with your contracting officer and financial advisors to determine which costs are allowable and how to incorporate them into your contract negotiations.
As an executive, you play a critical role in ensuring cybersecurity is a strategic priority. It's your responsibility to prioritize cybersecurity at the board level. Allocate the right budget and resources specifically for CMMC compliance and ongoing cybersecurity efforts. Involve the entire organization in cybersecurity planning and implementation, and go beyond the requirements of CMMC. Prioritize cybersecurity at the board level, ensuring that it's an integral part of the organization's strategy and risk management. This includes regular reporting on and monitoring of cybersecurity efforts and progress toward achieving CMMC compliance. Engage with key stakeholders to align cybersecurity efforts with your organization's broader goals. Lead by example and demonstrate your commitment to cybersecurity by actively participating in discussions, decision-making, and resource allocation.
Allocate the right budget and resources specifically for CMMC compliance and ongoing cybersecurity efforts. This may include investing in new technology, employee training, and regular security assessments to maintain and improve your organization's cybersecurity posture. Achieving CMMC compliance requires significant investments in personnel, technology, and training. As an executive, it is your responsibility to allocate the necessary resources to support your organization's cybersecurity efforts. This includes hiring or training skilled cybersecurity professionals, investing in cutting-edge security technologies, and providing continuous education for your workforce to maintain a strong cybersecurity culture. By allocating sufficient resources for cybersecurity, you signal the importance of this issue within your organization and ensure that your team has the tools and support needed to achieve and maintain compliance with CMMC.
Achieving compliance is a team effort that requires the active involvement of stakeholders across your organization, including IT, legal, finance, human resources, and operations. Engage your team in the process, communicate the importance of compliance, and foster a culture of shared responsibility for cybersecurity. Develop a cross-functional team responsible for CMMC compliance, with representatives from each key stakeholder group. This team should work together to develop a comprehensive compliance strategy, coordinate resources, and monitor progress. By involving stakeholders from across your organization, you can ensure a more effective and efficient approach to CMMC compliance. Encourage a culture of cybersecurity awareness and vigilance within your organization. Educate employees about the importance of protecting sensitive information. Equip them with the knowledge and tools to identify and mitigate cyber threats. Promote open communication channels for reporting potential security incidents, and provide ongoing training to stay current with the latest threats and best practices.
It is important to recognize that achieving CMMC compliance is just one aspect of a comprehensive cybersecurity strategy. Compliance represents the minimum standards your organization must meet to participate in the defense supply chain. It is crucial to prioritize and invest in broader cybersecurity initiatives that go beyond compliance, focusing on proactive threat identification, risk mitigation, and continuous improvement. Going beyond the requirements of CMMC can help your organization stay ahead of evolving cyber threats and maintain a competitive edge. This may involve investing in advanced threat detection and response capabilities, as well as promoting a culture of cybersecurity awareness and vigilance.
If the CMMC standards had been in place, the F-35 incident might have been avoided. By implementing robust cybersecurity measures, your organization can prevent similar breaches in the future and contribute to the overall security of the defense industrial base. Ensuring CMMC compliance is not only about protecting your organization, but also about safeguarding the nation's critical defense infrastructure and sensitive information. In this video, we have explored the importance of CMMC for DoD contractor executives, highlighting the need to secure the defense industrial base and protect controlled unclassified information. We have discussed the key components of CMMC, including certification levels, security controls, subcontractor security, scoping rules, and the roles of supporting organizations within the broader CMMC ecosystem. We have also examined the implications of compliance and non-compliance, emphasizing the need for a comprehensive and strategic approach to cybersecurity. Finally, we have outlined the critical role that executives play in prioritizing cybersecurity, allocating resources, and fostering a culture of security awareness across the organization.
Cybersecurity is no longer optional. It's a critical business function and a shared responsibility among all members of the defense supply chain. As an executive of a DoD contractor, your role in prioritizing cybersecurity is vital to the success of your organization. Embrace the challenge of CMMC compliance and lead your organization toward a more secure future. By working together, we can build a stronger, more resilient defense supply chain that advances our nation's technological capabilities and protects our national security. I'm Ben Chubane, President of Phoenix DS.
And I'm Claude Williams, CEO of Centel. We wish you success in your CMMC compliance journey.